Hello everyone, welcome to my channel and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. So this is another episode in the deck walkthrough series that I have been doing, and I'm so glad that people are watching and I've been getting some nice feedback and I'm very thrilled about that. So I'm glad that you're getting some information and it's helping you make some choices as to what decks you want to buy or whether or not you want to give fortune telling a little bit of a try. So today I'm going to be doing the Lenormand deck by Piatnik, and this is Lenormand deck number 194115 by Piatnik. I've decided to present this. I have other decks as well, but this is a very pretty deck, and I thought I'd just show you. It's a very clear deck. So the Lenormand deck was made popular by Mlle Lenormand during the 19th century, and she was a French fortune teller who was very important in Napoleon Bonaparte's life. So she predicted his rise to fame and his success, and that is why she became so successful. Now the cards themselves are very unlike the tarot in the sense that they give you very precise answers and there's not much emotion associated with it. So it's a deck that generally tells you about events that are going to happen. So if that's what you're looking for in a fortune telling deck, to get answers about what's going to happen next, this is the deck to go to use. It's very simple to learn. There are only 36 cards in this deck, and each card has certain word associations. The cards interact with each other, and you'll learn how to use that by reading through the little white book. It's a nice little small deck, so you can put it into your purse. It comes in a nice little box here, not the sturdiest of boxes, I must add, but it's very simple. You can put it into a little pocket or a little sleeve and put it in your bag, and it's easy to transport around, easy for you to take out, to whip out and do readings if that's what you like. And Piatnik has been making playing cards for centuries really, and so you're going to get good quality with the Piatnik decks if you decide to buy this deck. So the deck itself comes in that box, as I said, and it comes with this little white book. Now the deck is produced in Austria, so it starts off. It's a German origin. It's got German interpretation within the little white book itself, but it's also got the English version in it, so English interpretation as well. So it starts off with the German bit, but then it goes into the middle of the deck about page 25, giving you the English interpretation. It tells you a little bit about the cards themselves, and it also tells you about Madame Lenormand and who she was. She was a lady that was born in 1772 on May the 27th, and she died in 1843 on June the 25th, and she was very instrumental in that French Revolution as well. She apparently had spent some time in prison, so prison changes a person. So she has she went through some grueling times in her life as well. So the book's got black and white pictures of all the cards here, and this is called the Grand Tableau spread. So it's it's a spread that uses all the cards, and all the cards interact with each other. So it gives you a picture of that whole spread itself. Now you've got the interpretation of the cards. They're very clear, and there's not a lot to learn per card, and really basically what you see on the card is what you're going to be interpreting. So it's got no hidden meanings in it. It's what you see is what you get about this, you can add to the meanings of each card as you learn to use the deck, or you can just use their meanings initially, and that will give you enough information for you to be able to read the cards quite well. You can do 3 card spreads, 4 card spreads, the sky's the limit, and you can even use the whole deck if you're so inclined. So all the meanings of the cards very clear, and it's easy to carry this book around. So if you wanted to learn it, learning these 36 cards is not going to be very difficult, and it's not going to take you forever to do it either, and you'll be good to go in no time. And at the end of this, it's got how to lay the cards out, the rows, and it's got a little spread at the end, quick spread on how to read the cards. So, the book itself, not a lot of pages, but it's jam-packed with information. So, very easy to learn, and, it'll give you that edge you know, before anything else. Now, if you wanted to have a more extensive idea on about the cards, there's some really good instructional videos or learning, teaching videos on YouTube. So I suggest that you even look at those. You know, people have done you know, some people use the Lenormand as their sole fortune-telling decks. So, you know, they know the deck in and out. And, you know, they give the teaching that comes off it is really good. So please refer to any of these videos on YouTube. So I'm going to just show you this deck very quickly. It's a very traditional looking deck. It's got the number of the card quite clearly. So I'm going to bring it quite close here. Quite clearly for you. And it's got the playing card annotation on the front over there. So this is the rider. And it looks like a little painted picture on it. So that's the rider and the clove and the ship. This is the house, the tree, the clouds, and you can distinctly see the light and the dark of the clouds, and that's very important because the cards interact on either side with whatever you have. Whatever cards on either side of this this card, the clouds would interact or change the meaning of the card next to it. Then you've got the snake, which is also very directional. You can see the mouth is pointing in a certain way, the tail is pointing in a certain way. This is the coffin, the bouquet, the scythe, and then you can see that's also directional. The sharp point and the blunt point, that is very important. You've got the whip and the broom here. This is the swallows or the birds, rather. The child, the fox, which is also directional, where the face is and where the tail is pointing is important. The bear, the stars, the stork, the dog, the tower. This is the garden, the mountain, the path, the mice, the heart, the ring, the book, the letter, the gentleman, and this is a significator card. If you were reading it for a man, you'd lay this card down. And the woman, and this is also a significator card if you were reading for a woman. Oh, and this is the lilies, the sun, the moon, the key, the fish, the anchor, and finally the cross. So, you know, it's got some similar meanings to the tarot, but not all of them are the same. And like, for instance, the tower in this particular deck does not mean the tower as it does in the tarot deck. But it gives you answers very quickly. And, you know, this is such a beautiful deck. The pictures are very clear. And like I said, it's got the playing card connotations, and that becomes important as well when you're doing. So it adds, enhances the meanings of the cards when you're reading that as well. So very easy to read, very clean cut. There's not a lot of you know, I don't like decks that are very noisy, if you like. And that's what I like to say. I like to see the picture quite clearly, and that is important in this particular deck. Everything is presented. You can see the rider is riding towards something, so that is important as well. It shows the direction very nicely, and the pictures are very, very beautifully done, and very the coloring is very nice in the deck as well. So it's also nice. It's a nice small deck. It's got a really good card stock as well, so it's going to last you for quite a bit. You know, it's not going to get messed up, or it's not going to bend. There's no peeling that's going to happen in this deck. Easy to read, and you know, you get your answers quite quickly. So if that's the way you're inclined, you know, you want your answers quickly, you want to be able to use a deck that is not too fussy, this is the deck to go to. And I highly recommend this deck. I love Lenormand. You know, I stumbled across it quite late in my tarot reading Korea, and I can't believe I didn't know about it before this, or I always ignored it. I was always too scared to actually open the deck and use it. I thought the tarot was the only way to read to do fortune telling or to read events, but the Lenormand cards have proved that they can hold their own up against the tarot in a different kind of a way. It's a different system of using it, but it's really, really accurate. So I suggest you give it a go. They're very cheap, these decks, and if you don't want to buy this particular deck, but this was really cheap, you can use other decks. And if you want something that's got a more more intricate or more fancy, this you can choose that. So you've got a lot of choice, but they stick to the same routine, or they stick to the same meanings on the cards, so it's not going to deviate too much. I know between tarot decks you have deviations, but not so with the Lenormand deck. If you learn it off once, you can read any Lenormand deck that you pick up. You can enhance the readings by finding extra meanings to the cards, but basically it's standardized across the board. So you're going to, once you learn it, it's you learn it for life, really, and you can use it in any kind of situation. So I hope you give this deck a try. I'm going to put the links on where to buy it in the description box, so go for it and give it a try. I mean, even if you just give it a try, it's not too expensive. You're not going to lose out if you don't like the deck itself. And if you buy it, it's not going to break the bank. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave me some comments if you have enjoyed this. And thank you so much for watching. Take care now. Goodbye.